What's up, YouTube? StephenWorldwide back for another video. It's midnight. It's October 7th or 8th now, and maybe I should be going to bed because I have work tomorrow, but I just feel like making a video. I've been thinking about doing this video for a long time, so yeah, I'm inspired. I'll do it right now. So, this is a fragrance review, and this is reviewing a fragrance that is relatively new. It's only been out for, I guess, a year, less than a year, maybe 11 months, 10 or 11 months. It came out last winter or fall. So it hasn't been reviewed that much. It's not talked about that much, but I think it is an important fragrance, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is unbox this fragrance, and it is called Odyssey Homme by Armaf. So if you don't know already, Armaf is famous for their colognes. Most are high quality, popular colognes, and some are not so great, but they have been very popular the past 3 or 4 years for their great colognes, and this is another gem that is less than a year old, so I'll talk about why this is important in a second. So this is cloning a very popular fragrance called Valentino Uomo Intense for men and Dior Homme Intense. Both are highly rated on Fragrantica.com. The Valentino is rated like, let me see, let me check my notes. All right, so it's a 4.43 out of 5, and Dior Homme Intense is even higher rated than that. So those are really popular winter fragrances. They're spicy. They're just really masculine, manly fragrances. And the main note the main accord in the Valentino Uomo Intense is iris. It's really, the iris really comes out. And there are other notes in there. For example, we have iris, it has tonka, leather, vanilla, sage, and it really smells like there's even more notes in there. Maybe there's some kind of a mandarin orange, but it's just, it comes together so well, and just guys love it, and women love the smell of it too. So they're not cheap, and I looked at getting a bottle of Valentino Intense, Uomo Intense, and it was over 60 bucks. So I was waiting to find a clone, and I was reading reviews about it, about Valentino Uomo, and somebody said that they found a perfect clone, and it's an Armaf fragrance called Odyssey. And I went and looked for that one, and I found it, and it was cheap, and I saw that it was new. I bought it, and here it is. It came. So yeah, so this is very cheap. I don't know if you consider it very cheap. It's not 20 bucks, but I think I paid 28 bucks for this. 28 bucks, and it was shipped from a seller in India. And if you don't know this, there are a lot of sellers. If you're out of USA or Canada, you can get very cheap colognes shipped internationally with free shipping or cheap shipping. A lot of sellers are in India that are on eBay, and they're selling colognes, and they're originals, and this is one of them. Of course, it helps I buy cheap colognes, so there's not that many fakes of cheap colognes. But I've already bought 6, 7, or 8 colognes that came from a few, 2 or 3 Indian sellers that I've been dealing with, and they pack everything very well and sturdy packaging, and I can't complain. The shipping has been cheap, if not free, and I'll buy more from them. So this was 28 bucks. It's worth every penny of it. So I opened it up before. I'm just gonna open it up again and show you what it's like. So here's the box. Okay, this is the 100 ml. And let's see, the top, Armaf. The back, Armaf with Sterling Perfumes. And I went to this website, Sterling Perfumes or Perfumes.com, and this isn't on it. A lot of the popular Armaf fragrances are not on that website. They have a lot of other stuff like room freshener sprays that have all kinds of like their their fragrances. So this one's not on it. What else? On this box, you can see a design. It looks like a thermos or like a coffee mug, a coffee thermos. And that's the theme, that's the shape of this bottle. On the bottom, you have a batch code. I know this camera doesn't focus because this is the front camera of my phone, so I can see what it looks like. The batch code, number 266263, 00789. This production date is October 2018, so I'm guessing this is the first batch. This is when it came out. It was made in October last year, then released shortly after that. It says it expires on 2023. Fragrance made in France. Okay, so let's open this baby up. Alright, so you can see. There we go. Alright, so there it is in the box. And the cap holds pretty tight. You can hold it by the cap. And this is what it looks like. It looks like a little thermos. It's kind of weird. It's like a, yeah, like a mini thermos, and it's heavy. All right, the bottom is some kind of fake leather material. All right, there's no batch information on the bottle. Oh yeah, there it is. You can see it's very faint. It's printed right here. You see that? Okay, it's there. All right, and there's the front, Odyssey, and the cap comes off like that. It's on pretty well. The cap is kind of heavy. It's plastic on the outside. All right, it's not bad. So this is what it looks like. It has a silver sprayer. How's the sprayer? Pretty good. Oh, that smells great. All right, so beforehand I sprayed. I'm going to do a comparison now because I have a decant of Valentino Uomo Intense for men, and this is I got this on eBay. This is I don't know how many ml this is, 10 ml maybe. I think I got this for $8, something like that, $8 or $10. And I sprayed this on this hand, Valentino Uomo Intense, and then I sprayed Odyssey on this hand. And I did this the other day to see how long they lasted. And it doesn't last, the Armaf Odyssey, it doesn't last forever. It's not beast mode at all. But it's not bad. It's like 6 hours. And the Valentino obviously is a higher quality, and it really performed better. It lasted probably a few hours longer. You can still smell it a little bit stronger than the Odyssey. And there was another note that was more prominent on the Valentino Uomo that the Odyssey didn't have. And I thought about how to explain this, and I don't know what note it is. I don't know what it smells like. It was a good smell. And if you can think of the candy Smarties. Do you remember Smarties from when you were a kid? Just can you imagine the smell of that? It's kind of like the sugary sweet smell of Smarties candy. I don't know how else to explain it, but a very, very faint smell like that remained after 6 hours or so of Valentino Uomo that the Odyssey didn't have. And it's not a bad thing. I mean that in a good way. It was just something that's there that this one doesn't have. But is this a suitable clone for Valentino Uomo or Dior Homme Intense? Hell yes. This is fantastic. For $28, this is the best clone I found of this fragrance. And I know what this fragrance is, obviously, because I have a decant of it. Dior Homme Intense I don't have, but I heard they're very close. Also, I asked 2 friends of mine. I did the same thing. I had them smell this one and smell this one on opening sprays, and then a half an hour later, and they said it smells exactly alike to them. It smelled like 95% alike. So here it is, a comparison of Armaf Odyssey, Armaf Odyssey Homme, and Valentino Uomo Intense, which is actually has a beautiful bottle. And maybe someday I'll actually buy the full bottle of this, because this is pretty awesome now that I've sampled it. But this can't be beat too. This is a, I don't want to say hidden gem, because it's a somewhat new fragrance, but this is kind of a undiscovered or just underrated, definitely underrated fragrance. Winter's coming, it's around the corner, another 6 weeks away, 6 or 7 weeks away, and we'll be in December. So this is the time. Winter is the time. It's great for cold weather. The weather is cooling down now here in Japan. So right these days I'm wearing Armaf Craze. But when it gets a little bit cooler, then I'm going to bust this out. Probably bust this out in mid to late November and start wearing this one and see how that goes. So yeah, I hope you liked watching this video and my comparison to the two. I wish I had more to tell you, but I haven't really been wearing them a lot. I'm just giving my initial impression of this. There's also a white bottle. There's a white version of Odyssey Homme that you can find on eBay, but I don't know what it smells like. It's probably different than this one. And keep that in mind if you don't know Armaf fragrances. A lot of their fragrances have the same name with one little variation, and they smell completely different. They're clones of completely different colognes. So for example, the most famous, popular Armaf fragrance is Club de Nuit Intense Man, and that is a clone of Creed Aventus. And Club de Nuit Man has almost the same name except intense. It smells nothing alike. That one is more of a 1 Million by Paco Rabanne clone. And I just actually bought that recently. I just bought that today, actually. That I won't have that in Japan. That's being shipped to my house in USA. And I'll have to pick that up when I visit the States over the holidays. So I'm heading back home to see my family for 3 weeks over the Christmas and New Year holiday. Looking forward to that. All right, so yeah, lately I've been watching a lot of fragrance reviewers talking about fragrances. I've made a lot of purchases, so in the future, if I feel motivated enough, I'm going to make more videos with my impression and my input into these colognes I'm interested in. Basically cheapies that clone the real expensive ones, or old classics that are cheap. I usually buy colognes that are 30 bucks and under, because it's exciting to see what you can get in a cheaper price as opposed to the ones that are very expensive. And the very expensive ones I do have. I just get the decant of it. I actually have a decant sample of Creed Aventus over here in my my little collection. So I guess that's about it. I think I've said everything I wanted to about this one. So this is a hit. If you want something for the winter that smells very masculine and just very awesome, then pick yourself up Odyssey Homme. You can read about it. Actually, you can't read about it on Fragrantica. It's not on there yet. So you would have to just read about it somewhere else, or watch a YouTube video and hear other people's opinions on it. But it's mostly been positive. Don't have anything bad to say about it, except it's not as, the performance isn't as good as Club de Nuit Intense Man or Armaf Craze. Those last till the next day, overnight almost. This one is just a good 6 hours, but it's still awesome. And yeah, I would buy it again. So hope you liked the video, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.